If you've ever felt like your energy is just running on empty, or maybe you're struggling to bounce back from the daily grind, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to dive into some fantastic source material today and extract a highly actionable, structured toolkit to help you genuinely thrive. So, I want you to take a quick second and honestly reflect. How has your resilience been holding up lately? Between shifting demands, tight deadlines, and just the general hustle of the modern Aussie workplace, it's so incredibly easy to feel stretched thin. Have you noticed your bounce back ability isn't quite what it used to be? Well, if you're nodding your head right now, I want you to know you're definitely not alone. And today's explainer is designed specifically for you. To guide us through this, we're drawing directly from some really fantastic insights by Peter McGuire at PauseWork. Peter is a total expert in positive psychology-based tools, coaching, and employee engagement. Now, PauseWork focuses on applying these incredibly powerful psychological frameworks to real-world environments. So what that means for us is that everything we're covering today isn't just fluffy theory. It's practical, it's tested, and it's ready to be implemented in your day-to-day life literally right now. Okay, let's take a quick look at our menu for today. First, the Aussie resilience crisis. Second, ingredient 1, true grit. Third, ingredient 2, tiny habits. Fourth, mixing the recipe. And finally, 5, your resilience toolkit. Starting us off with section 1, the Aussie resilience crisis, a workplace deficit. It's really crucial we set the stage here, right? Because to solve any problem, we first need to understand the scale of it. And honestly, the reality for many Australian workers right now is quite stark. There's this aggregated research conducted by the Australian Human Resources Institute in conjunction with the Michelle McQuaid Group, and they looked at workplace well-being from 2018 all the way through to 2023. One of their major findings, a significant downturn in resilience across Australian workplaces. I mean, we've been through a lot collectively in those 5 years, and our bounce-back muscle is just fatigued. This is not just some corporate buzzword issue. It's a very real, measurable decline in our capacity to handle workplace stress. So the big question is, how do we tackle that? That brings us to section 2, ingredient 1, true grit. To combat this crisis, we're bringing in our first powerhouse ingredient. And look, this isn't about just toughing it out or suppressing your feelings. Not at all. It's rooted in the groundbreaking research of psychologist Angela Duckworth, who completely redefined how we understand success and endurance. Duckworth defines grit as the tendency to sustain interest in and effort toward very long-term goals. Notice what isn't in that definition: talent or intelligence. Grit is all about enduring commitment. Gritty individuals have this fascinating mindset shift where they view setbacks not as final, catastrophic failures, but as necessary opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow. This inherent optimism is exactly what fuels their ability to persevere when everyone else might just throw in the towel. Let's break Duckworth's theory down into its 2 vital components. First up, passion. Now, this isn't just a fleeting burst of excitement for a new project. It's a deep, sustained interest that keeps you engaged when the novelty wears off and the hard yakka actually begins. Second, perseverance. This is your ability to stay committed despite challenges, failures, and those incredibly frustrating plateaus where you feel like you aren't making any progress at all. But here is the absolute best part. Duckworth emphasizes that grit is a muscle. It can absolutely be developed and strengthened with consistent exercise. Moving right along to section 3, ingredient 2, tiny habits. Right now, you might be thinking, well, that's great, but how on earth do I consistently exercise this grit muscle when I am already completely exhausted? And that's a perfectly natural barrier. When our resilience is low, the very idea of summoning massive amounts of willpower is just daunting. Usually, when we want to change our lives or build resilience, we aim for monumental shifts. We try to overhaul our entire routine overnight. But Stanford University researcher B J Fogg completely revolutionized our understanding of behavior change. Fogg argues that the monumental shift approach is actually fundamentally flawed. Instead, we should start with behaviors so incredibly small and easy that they are literally impossible to resist. So Fogg gives us this brilliant, simple 3-step formula. Step 1, the anchor. This is an existing routine you already do without even thinking about it, like brushing your teeth. Step 2, the tiny behavior. This is the new little change you want to cultivate. And step 3, and I really cannot stress this enough because it's my favorite part, the celebration. You absolutely must follow the tiny behavior with a quick, genuine feeling of success. A smile, a quiet yes, a little fist pump, whatever works for you. This isn't silly, guys. It is neurology. This positive reinforcement literally wires the new behavior directly into your brain. Let's ground this in reality with a couple of practical examples.
After brushing my teeth, that's the anchor, I will do one single push-up. That's the tiny behavior. Or, after finishing a stressful meeting, I will do a quick fist pump and say, done. The sheer magic of tiny habits lies in these incremental wins. Each successful repetition, no matter how tiny it seems, builds your momentum and your commitment. You're proving to yourself repeatedly that you are entirely capable of doing what you set out to do.
And now for Section 4, Mixing the Recipe.
This right here is where the absolute magic happens in today's explainer. We have Duckworth's high-level, long-term grit, and we have Fogg's micro-level, actionable tiny habits. While each is a highly effective tool in its own right, McGuire's insights from pause work show us that we get an even more powerful result from using them in partnership. So let's walk through the 4 chronological steps of this ultimate resilience recipe. Step 1, identify your passion. Use your grit to clarify those long-term goals that truly excite you. Step 2, break down goals. Take that massive vision and dissect it into the absolute smallest possible actionable steps using the tiny habits method. Step 3, attach and celebrate. Link that tiny step to an everyday anchor and always, always celebrate it to train your brain. And step 4, embrace incremental wins. Allow those small victories to accumulate and strengthen your perseverance muscle over time. Think about it this way. If your gritty, long-term passion is to write a book, that can feel completely overwhelming. But by breaking it down, your daily action simply becomes, after I finish my morning coffee, I will write one sentence, just one. By dissecting a massive vision into the smallest possible step, you create a continuous feedback loop of success. It completely bypasses that awful feeling of being overwhelmed and starts building your confidence immediately.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, your Resilience Toolkit. Building resilience isn't about being invincible or never feeling stressed. It's all about your capacity to recover. And what we've learned from pause work is that this recovery capacity is built drop by drop, habit by habit, win by win. And I really want to leave you with this powerful quote directly from Peter McGuire at Pause Work. By merging the passion and perseverance of grit with the incremental power of tiny habits, we can forge a path towards lasting resilience. This is the core takeaway for today. When setbacks inevitably occur in your workplace, and they absolutely will, that's just life, your established history of small daily wins serves as a powerful psychological reminder of your capability to just keep going. You've trained your brain to expect success. Which brings us to a little challenge for you. What tiny habit will you anchor and celebrate today?